Conservatives are fighting back against a constitutional amendment that could potentially raise taxes. It's January 10th, 2024, and this is a special edition of Headlines on the Road. All right, just moments ago, there were oral arguments in the case we just talked about. We're here in Amarillo at the 7th District Court of Appeals. And first, Terry Hall with Turf, I want to ask you, why did y'all decide to get involved in this lawsuit now, 2 years ago plus? Why did y'all decide to get involved in this?
Well, it was very clear to us that the Texas legislature was intentionally trying to mislead the voters in how they put this language on the ballot. In 2011, this exact measure came before the voters, and it was rejected by voters because it involves ad valorem tax rate increases. So whenever you're going to increase someone's property tax, obviously that is, way up here on priorities for voters. So when they come fast forward 10 years forward to 2021, they try again to put this on the ballot, but they leave out and omit only the phrase that notices and tells the voters, informs the voters that they are going to have tax rate increases, property tax increases to back the bonds that these counties want to do. So when that's so obvious, blatantly obvious that they are trying to mislead the voters in order to get it through and get it passed, and then come back to us after we have these 40-year bond debts on these transportation reinvestment zones crop up all over the state. It's too late. This is the only vote the voters got. They don't get to vote once the counties engage in or actually create a transportation reinvestment zone. It'll be too late. So we're asking the courts to review this, because if they can get away with deceptive ballot language on this constitutional amendment for transportation reinvestment zones, they're going to do it on every election, because this will set a precedent that they can get away with doing these kind of tricks. In fact, Senator Bob Hall tried to put an amendment on the floor and ask the Senate to restore that original 2011 language into the 2021 language. And the Senate voted it down. So it's very clear that they were intentionally knowing that if we tell the voters this is going to increase your property taxes, we know they're going to reject it. So we want them to pass it so that we can still raise their taxes. But we're going to just conveniently take this little phrase out and see if we can scoot it by the voters. So we think with those kind of shenanigans, when it's that brazen and that blatant, we need to slap this down, and we hope the courts will do that.
Rachel, you're representing Grassroots America, We the People, but you also have True Texas Project and Turf in this. Why do you think, so many, 3 different grassroots organizations got involved in this?
I believe just because they feel like the voters were misled, and there's power in the grassroots. And I think we have seen that through this last legislative session and getting like HB 900 passed and things like that. And so we need to band together as conservatives, and we need to hold our government accountable.
Tony McDonald, you're the lawyer on this case. 2 questions. 1, how do you think it went? And 2, what are the next steps? When can people expect a decision to be made in this?
Well, I thought the court was receptive to the arguments that we had here. I thought the questioning was very good. We had a great interaction back and forth with the justices. A hot panel, as they say, lots of questioning, which is always great for an appellate advocate. We like to answer questions and not just speak to a wall, And so I thought it went pretty well. The court will make up its decision and issue an opinion. There's no real deadline for that. So sometimes these things take a couple months, 2 or 3 months. It could take a year. It could take longer. You never really know. So we'll just wait and see what the court rules. But we're really excited that the trial court rejected this argument that there could be no contest, that we can't challenge the language that the legislature picked. The trial court rejected that. And so here we're actually on a footing asking the Court of Appeals to affirm that decision. So we're hopeful that the court will do that, that they'll affirm that decision and keep this opportunity alive for voters to have accountability, for voters to ensure that they're not misled.
And we'll have any updates on that story, of course, at TexasScorecard.com. We'll be back tomorrow with a normal edition. For right now, I'm Brandon Waltons. Thank you for watching Daily Headlines.